Now I'm going to assess your mouth. I'm going to begin by assessing your lips for any cracking, ulcers, bleeding, or dryness. I see your lips are a little bit dry, but there's no cracking or bleeding. Now I'm going to have you open your mouth, and I'm going to assess your oral mucosa. I'm going to just put this, okay. I'm just checking to make sure for the color there's no bleeding, ulcerations, yellow patches. And I'm also looking at your gums to again make sure that there's no bleeding, ulcerations, or white patches. Okay. Now I'm going to assess cranial nerve number 10, which is the vagus nerve. So what I'm going to have you do is open your mouth. I want you to say ah, and I'm going to be looking at your palate and your uvula to make sure that they move together, and to make sure that when you're done with the vocal exercise that your uvula returns to midline. So go ahead and open. Say it. Okay. Keep your mouth open while I do it, please. Okay, good. Your uvula returns to midline and it moves with your soft palate. Okay. Cranial nerve 9 is glossopharyngeal. I'm not going to test that cranial nerve because it's the gag reflex, but if I were going to test it, I would put a tongue blade into your mouth and elicit that gag reflex. Cranial nerve number 12 is hypoglossal. And so what I'm going to have you do is stick your tongue out. Go ahead and stick your tongue out. Move it from side to side. Okay, I'm just assessing the underside of your tongue. Make sure there's no ulcerations, white patches. Go ahead and stop moving your tongue. Stick it out though. And I'm just making sure that there is no cracking or bleeding or ulcerations on your tongue. Last thing I'm going to have you do is open your mouth, and I'm going to look at the tonsils and your pharynx. Go ahead and stick your tongue out a little bit. Okay, there's no white patches on your tonsils, which are still present. Your pharynx is not red. It's a nice pink, moist color. Thank you for allowing me to assess your mouth.